And Kenny Callender has a tip for Sydney Race 5, the Ranvet Stakes. It's number 2, Royal Creation. And now let's cross out to John Tapp and see how they go.
Good on you, Tim. Yes, the Ranvet Stakes coming up, a Group 1 race at weight for age. It carries $300,000 in prize money, and one of Australia's best-loved racehorses will line up in this, the Great Superimpose, winner of $1.5 million or $2.5 million in prize money. Ken, I know you've tipped Royal Creation to win, and there's no doubt he's going to be hard to beat, but if he does beat Superimpose, the fan club of that great horse from Melbourne are going to be very, very upset.
They sure are, John. Obviously, Superimpose is the horse to beat. I'm not that silly, but he's at long odds on, and I thought Royal Creation was good value. I've had a couple of bucks on him. Here's the prices. Superimpose at the moment on the tote is a little bit similar to what the bookies are serving up. 2 to 1 on, very short odds, $1.50 for $1. Royal Creation about 6 to 1, slightly reasonable price. I thought I've got something on him. Castletown was scratched this morning. Dr. Grace pretty short on the tote, only about 15 to 4 now, which is 3 3/4 to 1. 20 to 1 Fill the Bill. Waikiki from New Zealand, she's come in another point at 10 to 1. She's been specced in the ring, and 20 to 1 Strokes to be ridden by Malcolm Johnston. She's a stablemate of Dr. Grace. Only a small field of 6 with the scratching for the Ranvet Stakes, but like the Newmarket in Melbourne, what it lacks in quantity, it makes up for in quality. Here's John Tapp.
This race has had 3 names over the years. It was originally the Rawson Stakes and was run under that name until Sedgenho Stud took over the sponsorship some 4 or 5 years back. In fact, it was the Sedgenho last year when won by the great horse Better Loosen Up. But I'm just casting an eye down the list of winners, and oh boy, you talk about a who's who of the thoroughbred world. 1946 just to begin with. How about Burnborough for openers? And then through a list of champions: Winona Girl, Sky High, Time and Tide, Broker's Tip, Gunsinned on a couple of occasions. And you could go on and on and on. Bozam won it 2 years on the trot. Number 7, Saddlecloth, is carried by a 3-year-old filly called Strokes, ridden by Malcolm Johnston. She's at a long price, quoted at about 23 to 1. She is the lesser fancied stablemate of the Lord Ben Stables, Dr. Jeff Chapman's establishment. His other runner, of course, is Dr. Grace, who won the Derby last year. I think he's been disappointing at his 2 runs back from a spell, Dr. Grace, and he'll certainly need to shake a leg today if he's going to beat Superimpose and Royal Creation. Now, that was Royal Creation, number 2, Saddlecloth, but we're back on Strokes. She's a rather lean-looking filly, isn't she? There's not much of her at all. Very fine little thing. Now, they've moved in quickly for the Ranvet Stakes, and they look to be just about set. A small field and a minimum of trouble. And once that flag is lowered, they'll be off and running for the Ranvet. Gates open, flags down, and they'll be in view in a matter of moments. And here they come racing into view, and it's obvious that nobody's desperate to lead in the early stages. The New Zealand mare Waikiki was in front over Fill the Bill with the inside running, followed by Royal Creation on the outside of Dr. Grace. About 3/4 to Strokes, who's cruising along 3 and 4 deep. In fact, Malcolm Johnston's going to allow that filly to stride up close to the lead now. And Superimpose as last of the 6 as they leave the 1600 mark behind them. Wheeling to the back now, and Strokes on the outside is up attacking Waikiki, but they're going at a muddling bat. They lead by 2 lengths to Royal Creation in the box seat. 1.5 lengths Fill the Bill, ahead away Dr. Grace, and 2.5 to Superimpose, who's content to lob along at the tail of the field as they go down the back to the 1200 mark in the Ranvet. And the New Zealand mare Waikiki is the leader under a throttle hold, about 1 length on Strokes, 1 length Fill the Bill. There goes Dr. Grace making a fast move on the outside. Dye's not happy with the pace. Last year's Derby winner Dr. Grace has moved up 3 wide. Johnston kicked up on Strokes, and now they're putting on a bit of speed at the 900 mark. Waikiki forced to go faster now. Drew out to lead by 1 length to Strokes, 1 length to Dr. Grace, followed by Royal Creation. A neck back is Fill the Bill, and 1 length last Superimpose, with Beedman biding his time. Now they're starting to pack up as they come down the side to the 600 mark. It's Waikiki the leader. Strokes on the outside having another shot at the New Zealand mare. Dr. Grace in 3rd place. He wants to drop the bit. He's being hard ridden now. And then Royal Creation. Superimpose is starting to sneak up behind those leaders, and Fill the Bill is last of the 6 as they turn for home. Superimpose goes 4 deep on the turn. He looks to be travelling travelling comfortably as they straighten up. In the stretch, and Strokes put the head in front of Dr. Grace. Royal Creation not getting a lot of room. Beedman hasn't popped the question yet on Super. Now he does. And Superimpose on the outside, raced up to hit the front at the 200 mark. Royal Creation getting through into second place, but Superimpose quickly beat off Royal Creation. He wanted to duck in a bit, but he is striding away, and he adds to his magnificent record, Superimpose. He won pulling up over Royal Creation. 6 lengths away third, Dr. Grace, followed by Fill the Bill and Strokes, and Waikiki has dropped out to run last of the 6. Well, that was the cockiest, coolest, most confident ride you've ever seen from Darren Beedman, who just kept one eye on Royal Creation and one eye on the winning post, and Superimpose did the rest. Superimpose $1.60 and $1.20, and I've never seen a jockey treat the opposition with such utter contempt as Darren did in that race. Royal Creation just got held up for a little while in the straight, $2, and insufficient starters for third. Dr. Grace, Ken, he's not going well at all.
No, he is not, John. Superimpose was much too good, but Royal Creation, of course, Grant Cooksley found a way to get pocketed in a field of 6, and while he was looking for somewhere to go, Superimpose just swept down the outside and put pay to him in one fell swoop. I don't want to sound like a sore loser. I'm quite convinced Superimpose would have won comfortably anyway, but Royal Creation was still a little bit better run than it looked. Superimpose, 2-length winner over Royal Creation, and about 5 or 6 lengths to Dr. Grace, who found himself outclassed by the first pair. We thought it'd be a muddling run race. It certainly was. It chopped and changed, and everything, right down to the last little bit, suited Superimpose, who just lobbed along behind them. That's the way it goes. The champ got the breaks, the punter's got the cash, Darren Beedman smiling, and you will be too if you stay tuned to the wide world of sports.
Takes over 2,000 metres. The correct numbers 1, 2 and 4. An effortless win to Superimpose, paid $1.60 and $1.20. Second, number 2, Royal Creation, a dividend of $2, and insufficient runners in that race for Dr. Grace to earn a third place dividend.